Earlier this week, when driving our 5-year-old to school, he brought up the easy-to-talk-about topic of mortality, of death and dying, on Monday at 8:15 in the morning. Jesus died. Mom's dog died. But she was 20 years old, and that's a long time for a dog to live. Pop died. So they're in heaven, right, Daddy? That's right, son. When we die, we go to heaven, and we see our loved ones again someday. And just then, we get to the drop-off spot, and he hops out of the car and skips his way into school, while I'm left holding these existential pieces of my life in my hands. All of our answers seem so inadequate when faced with the directness of a child's curiosity, reflection, and scrutiny. And who should be more equipped to explain the afterlife to a child than a pastor? And what kind of pastor doesn't have the answers to these kinds of questions? Well, an honest one, maybe. I think there is a good reason that most introductory philosophy classes begin with Socrates' famous quote, "The more I know, the more I realize I know nothing." Because I think it's true. But I think that life isn't actually about the answers. I've always found comfort in this Maya Angelou quote about the birds and their song. Why should avian communication even sound like music to us? I think it's all part of the mystery of the melody in life. And I think that our faith is, in part, all about learning these tunes and harmonies through our experiences that, yes, sometimes break our hearts and sometimes causes our souls to soar with gladness. We call it faith because, by definition, it is not a logical proof. You want me to logically prove that a man literally rose from the dead over 2,000 years ago? I can't do it. You want me to take you to beyond this mortal plane and show you what happens when our time here is up? There's always going to be an element of this holy mystery in this life. We're finite beings trying to understand an infinite God. But what I can say is that there is this community that has this story that they've shared and trusted in, that something remarkable and life-giving and world-transforming has happened. And I can testify to the created order whispering the melody of God's grace and presence among us through the birds that sing, the wind that blows, the spirit that breathes, and yes, even the lives that you and I live, whispering resurrection. So maybe you don't have an adequate answer to life's existential dilemma of death in the drop-off line at school. But surely, we will have opportunities to dance to the mysterious melody of life and to learn to even lift our voices to join it as well in song, not as masters with the answers to life, but as participants with a song to sing.